Well, the fishing and tourism industries aren't the only ones feeling the financial fallout from the oil washing up on the Gulf. Much of the region's economy is tied to oil. So a group of senators from the Gulf Coast and also Alaska have signed a letter asking for the drilling moratorium to be lifted. Mississippi Senator Roger Wicker was one of those senators. He joins us now live from Jackson to talk about that. Senator, thanks for joining us today.
Good to be with you.
Tell us about your urging now of the administration to lift the moratorium. Is it going to be tough right now given the tragedy that people continue to see unfolding?
Well, there's a there's a difference between the deep water where this accident happened and shallow water. Our concern in this letter and our meeting this last week was about shallow water drilling. The blowout protector is above the water level. It's a whole different situation. If something goes wrong, it's easier to fix, and nothing's ever gone wrong in the Gulf Coast on shallow water drilling. So we're trying to get the hundreds and thousands of workers in the Gulf Coast area back to work drilling shallow wells, and that's been the subject of our letter and our meeting this past week. And I think that reason is about to prevail there. There's no reason, while we're looking at what went wrong with the deep water rigs, to shut down shallow water drilling, which is an entirely different matter altogether.
And Senator, I know you have a great concern about the economic impact. We want to share a little bit of the letter that you signed on to so our folks at home understand what you're talking about here. Part of the letter says, quote, if the moratorium is not lifted for these shallow water operations, as many as 50 of those rigs within the next 6 weeks will be unable to work, and at least 5,000 jobs from the rigs alone will be lost in the Gulf Coast region. How tough a blow would that be, given the issues you're talking about now with tourism and fishing?
Right. Well, on top of everything else, it's wrong to shut these jobs down when there's really no reason for it, no environmental reason. So we're going to be making that case. We've made the case to the administration, to the Secretary of the Interior recently, and then when the President comes to Mississippi tomorrow, we welcome him, and I intend to do a lot of listening, both today and tomorrow. I'm meeting with some people today that are affected by this. And so I hope the President will listen to this one concern. There are a lot of things that need to be done. There's some legislation that needs to be passed. I'm all about listening to his proposal about BP. But I hope he also listens to this message that we can do shallow water drilling in an entirely different way from the deep water and get thousands of Gulf Coast Americans back to work.
And Senator, I know part of your outreach has been requesting that someone from the administration meet with possibly a representative of these shallow water drilling companies. Do you have any indication whether someone would be willing from the administration to do that, to talk about their concerns?
Yes, as a matter of fact, they have met with us. So I give the administration credit for that. And also we had, I think, a very productive conference call on Friday afternoon about that. There is a possibility that if some additional safeguards can be put in, some additional inspections can be put in, that we can have these shallow water rigs back in operation, some of them maybe within a week, and then when other safeguards are put into place within a few days after that.
Senator, how are folks doing down there? What are you hearing from your constituents?
Well, I tell you, I'm going to hear some more this afternoon. I'm going to do a lot of listening with some charter captains and fishermen and shrimpers this afternoon at an open meeting I'm having. But I think they're concerned that there's a perception that's not okay to visit the Gulf Coast of Mississippi. Nothing could be further from the truth. We're open for business down there. The seafood is still good to eat down there. And to the extent that there's a perception that things are off limits, that's hurting our economy too. So keep your plans, make your plans to come to the Gulf Coast. The beaches in Mississippi are still pretty and ready and welcoming, and it would be nice for people to continue their vacation plans, and it would be a big help for our economy down there.
Senator, I've got a lot of family there in Mississippi. I've visited your beautiful beaches, and I urge folks to go. It's a wonderful place to visit. Our prayers are with all of you as you try to recover now.
Thank you. It's been a real tough time.
Thank you. Well, 16-year-old Abby's son